Guys, Barbell Apparel just sold out of their all-new Athletic Fit 2.0 jeans, and they did it in 24 hours. But they're about to drop a restock on May 1st. It's hard to explain just how comfortable these jeans are. You may run in them, throw a high kick. You can do whatever else you would do to stay active throughout the entire day. They are so comfortable, you won't want to take them off. Barbell Apparel tests their clothing on elite athletes, Tier 1 military operators, and hundreds of customers just like you. That's why they back up their clothing with a no questions asked 365-day guarantee. The all-new 2.0 jeans represent over 10 years of research to make them better than ever. So if you want to get a pair before they run out or to join the wait list, just text Barbell to number 48281. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Guys, I went out to Denver over the weekend for this. My first one seen live. And I remember the first time I saw it just in general. Wes Combs was going to fight. I turned it on. He's the first fight of the night, right? It's 7 o'clock pay-per-view. It's up on my television. Referee brings them face-to-face. This is a couple of years ago. Referee brings them face-to-face. And then he says, toe the line. And I've heard that before, toe the line. That was like an expression. I don't know what toe the line means. I know it means get the closer. I know it means put your foot on the line. Like, I know a little bit of it. I believe it came from the Navy. I believe it's a sailing term. I don't even know what it means is the point that I'm trying to get at. But as a wrestler, I put my foot on the line, and so did the opponent before the referee would start the match. Turned out, that's what they also do in bare knuckle. It was not go to your corner, go to your corner. But I remember this. I mean, this was my debut. First impression. Okay. So now I get to beat one live. And I have always been so impressed with the level of production. It just looks right. It feels big. Okay. You knew something special was going to happen. And bad things can be special too, right? Don't get lost in that word. Special doesn't necessarily mean you're going to hit it out of the park. You could be a resounding failure. But something's going to happen. And it sure did. I mean, this card was just loaded up, so we get there. And where to begin on this is a little bit tricky, because you want to know who is a massive star in the sport, Ben Rothwell? You probably didn't think those words would be spoken. And Ben has always wanted to get through to you guys. He's always wanted to get over. He has genuinely wanted to give you the most exciting and entertaining match that he could. He reads your comments, he respects your opinion. You guys kind of decide, standing and banging and big knockouts, but he hears that and then wants to give it to you. And then we kind of got into the entertainment era, and Ben was part of that too, so he started to get on board with the entertainment era. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. If you go back and you study Ben, you study his rise, he is not afraid to get in there and fight anybody. He went and fought Cain Velasquez, who I personally believe is the most intimidating heavyweight fighter of all time. I think Cain Velasquez was more intimidating than George Foreman. That's up for debate, but that is what I think. Rothwell stepped right in there with him. Now, I'm just sharing for you. I believe he's going to be fighting for the championship against Alan Belcher. But one thing about Rothwell was the reception that this live crowd gave him. And I know that's important to Ben. I just know. I've watched his career very closely, and I know when he adapts his style, when he adapts the way that he speaks, the way that he walks, the way that he looks, he's doing it, attempting to appeal and please the audience, and they were. And they had never been so loud and so receptive for Ben. It just had to be a good feeling. I mean, he had to enjoy that moment. It probably almost caught him off guard, almost as though this is what I've always wanted, and now I've got it. 8,000 people on their feet, backing up his claim that he's the number one contender and should be next for Alan Belcher. It was a cool spot of the night. So we're getting through this. You got to understand, by the time Big Ben hits the ring, there was already a knockout that was 7 seconds long. Got knockout of the night, but 7-second knockout represents the second fastest knockout of bare knuckle history. So it's just one of these nights, right? Like, I mean, things are rocking and rolling here. The stars are coming out. Cowboy Cerrone is sitting in the front row. What's he doing there? And I had to ask myself that question. What is he doing here? He's my friend. He knows I'm coming. He didn't text me to tell me that he's coming. I mean, not for nothing. What is Cowboy doing here? In the front row, well placed. Oh, by the way, he's fought Mike Perry before. I mean, right? You start to wonder these things. And get into these conspiracies and reading these tea leaves is very fun. It's a very fun part of the night. I get told by Cyrus Fees, Conor McGregor might be coming. Now, you got to understand, the event had already began. When I'm told Conor McGregor might be coming, the event is already going. And I looked at Cyrus, and I can't remember if I said it to him or if I just thought it. Conor is not coming. That sounds like a spoof that a promoter would place with a trusted source in the media to collect a few extra pay-per-view buys at the last minute. That's what that sounds like. And I said to Cyrus, why would Conor be here? And that was a sincere question, because Conor does have a loyalty to teammates. If he had somebody on the card and I didn't know about it, I wanted to know then. And Cyrus had told me, and I'm disclosing that Cyrus told me because we all kind of learned this together. I don't know if this is accurate or not. This is what I was told. That's why I'm disclosing it to you that way. Conor wanted to be there because he has a history with Mendes. He has a history with Alvarez. He felt attached to that fight. Okay, that could be true. I don't know. All I know is I didn't think he was coming. I have a show sheet. I have the behind-the-scenes information that you're not going to get until it happens. Conor's name's not on it. Conor's name is nowhere on the show sheet. And you would think a director and the producer and the promoter would want a special ovation, an establishing shot, an arrival shot, if you will. There would be something. Sure enough, Conor comes walking in, main card start, he comes walking in, that building goes nuts. They went nuts. They bring him in, they didn't have seats for him. Another reason I don't think that this was planned, it's very relevant. Conor McGregor and him being there is very relevant. The fact that they did not have seats, that they had to clear them, they had to work something with people, they had to have this section for Conor McGregor. The fact that he wasn't on the show sheet, I mean, I'm just sharing with you, like, there's some rumors going on that Conor's going to buy into bare knuckle. There's other rumors going on that Conor was paid a very lofty fee by Dave Feldman, and that was an appearance. You don't know if either one of those is true. What Conor is saying, and Conor can't keep a secret. He's got a huge team. Somebody's going to let it out. What Conor is saying is quite simply, I heard about this. I heard a little bit late. I jumped right on my plane. I came right out. I got here. You know, the show already started, but I'm here for the ones that I came to see. Let's go back. Right back Rollins was on here. That's how Conor tells the story. Conor was never supposed to get in the ring. Perry had never said he was going to call for him. When I'm talking about a show sheet, nobody knew that Perry was going to win and have an ability to call anybody to come and face off. So I'm just sharing with you, I think it was organic. Maybe I'm a sucker. Maybe Feldman and Conor, and they worked something out, and he came with the feet. Maybe. But he wasn't utilized in that role. And if you pay a guy to be there and you believe a guy's going to be there, you're doing that to get something for it. You're going to tell the public. Feldman did not tell the public. When I say it was a cheap play by a promoter to try to get pay-per-view sales, that's not what happened. There was a rumor that Conor was coming. It turned out to be true. I believe it. I don't think he was paid to be there. I don't think that was an appearance fee. And I'm not saying that he's buying into bare knuckle. I think Conor came out and he wanted to see the matches. I think it was a fan. Now, whether I'm right or I'm naive about that, Conor jumps in there. He does his face-off with Perry, and Conor realizes that he's a guest, and he realizes that this is Perry's night, Perry's moment, Perry's the champion, Perry's main event, Perry's victory. He realizes these things, but he still has to be true to himself and the character to a degree, while being polite and while acknowledging, hey, that was nice of you to bring me in. I like the spotlight too. I like to be on camera. I like to be on television too. You invited me and you put me in this role, so now I owe you something back. But at the same time, I owe the character as well. So it was a very fine line that Conor had to walk. And it took him a little bit to get his thoughts together. Right, he started with the praise. Hey, you look so good. Hey, this sport's for you. Hey, you got a great right hand. He started with the praise as he was getting it together. Then he realized he's got the belt. He can claim he's already the champion. Take 2 steps back. Come get the belt from him. It was just one of these great hot moments that is made for a meme. And overall, it was just a special night. the Schmo was there by example. And the Schmo was comparing it to Bonner versus Griffin Part 1. And I understood that comparison. Is bare knuckle going to be here to stay? But what do you guys think? Where do we go from here? There's rumors that Conor should come over and fight here, and Jake Paul and Nate should fight there, or more importantly, break up the Jake Paul and Nate and get Nate versus Conor bare knuckle. I mean, these things will die down by tomorrow. That's the way the media cycle works. But if you did a good job, you had a hot weekend, you get to live on it for about 72 hours, and we're in the midst of that. Something special did in fact happen.